Hello, subject matter listeners. This is Stephen Jenkins coming to you live from my extremely advanced podcast editing studio. I guess it's not really live, but I am coming to you directly. Before we get into the podcast, before we even get into the intro or the theme song or anything like that, I just want to give you a fair warning for this particular episode. Due to the guest that we had on this week, and due to the fact that he did not bring in a single topic for us to talk about, and due to the fact that we are all insane individuals, specifically when the three of us are in a room together, me, Jonathan, and our particular guest, this episode, it's going to be a little different. Especially when compared to last week's episode, which was a very calm and collected discussion about, scuba diving and where we would like to live and things like that. This episode is going to be a lot different, and you're going to notice some cuts that in any other episode should be seamless, but they're not seamless in this episode. They are, in fact, very blatant. You will notice them, and that's all about I have to say. It is a two-part episode, so if it feels incomplete, that's because it is. And we sort of made that decision when we were at about 30 minutes of recording time, and we had basically covered one topic at that point. So, enjoy, sit back, relax. Don't expect this to be anything like what you've ever seen. And that's about all I have to say, but I had to come on here and warn you ahead of time. Don't expect much from this episode, but also expect everything from this episode, and I think that's the best way to do that. So we're going to go ahead and roll the intro, and we'll go from there. Apologies in advance. We won't have an intro. We'll have to figure out what we do for the intro later.
We can do that.
But we'll just start, and this episode might go off the rails more than episode 3.
That's fine.
Okay. That might be a good intro, too. That could. But I'm tired of doing random intros. So, anyway.
Do, subscribe. No, wait, that's copyrighted. You can't put that in there. Never mind. That's a...
Oh, this right here, this 30 seconds we talk
whatever
about
this is could be the intro. And that's why I don't know.
I don't even know if it is. Is that Markiplier? It's a YouTube reference.
Okay.
No, Paint. It's Paint.
Take one.
Take one.
God,
There you go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Subject Matter. I'm your host, Stephen Jenkins, here with your co-host, Mr. Jonathan Dayton, and special guest, Mr. Jacob Wilson. We are experts in nothing, and we're here to give you our thoughts and opinions on all of it. So, Jacob, within the last 10 minutes, we have posted, not on our actual podcast social media, but just a social media from Jonathan's wife, Addie, who's actually off screen. And you've got some fans out there, Jacob, because people have responded within the first 2 minutes of just you sitting there in the chair, and people seem to be excited. So go ahead and tell everybody who already knows who you are.
Who I am. Well, hello. I'm Jacob, and what would you like to know?
I wasn't ready for that question. I don't, what would you like to tell everybody?
What would I like to tell everybody? Well, I'm currently in the 15th grade. About to go...
That would be a Jacob answer.
Thank you. I mean, why do we need to stop the grades at 12? I'm just saying. You're still in school. Who decided that? But that's another topic for another day. But yes, 15th grade, finishing up junior year at FSU, undergrad student, pre-med major, loving life. Science is my thing. English is not.
You're loving life now because he just got done this past weekend taking the MCAT, and he was actually supposed to be the first guest on our podcast. However, he was studying a lot for that, and we're gonna say that's why he didn't make it on the podcast. There may have been another reason.
Oh, there totally wasn't.
There may have been another reason. He may have, gone out to dinner or something instead of being on the podcast.
And was caught red-handed.
And was caught by chance, actually, because we just happened to drive by the restaurant he was at.
This is the best part.
After, okay.
we're already going off the rails. If you saw episode 3, which is actually our least viewed episode as of right now, but if you saw episode,
Sorry, that guess. You weren't good.
if you were one of the 42 people who currently saw episode 3, that episode went off the rails. This one's gonna like go off the rails, drive through town and off a cliff. Most likely, and that's pretty much what we would expect having you on this podcast. But anyway, so the story went like this. We were getting there. I got to our old filming location, which was his apartment, Jonathan's apartment. And we got a call from him basically saying, hey, can't make it, been up since, I got like 2 hours of sleep last night, been up since 8 or whatever, 6 o'clock, I don't know.
Which is his normal excuse.
Which is, I wouldn't say excuse, it's usually a valid reason.
Well, it's very valid,
Which is why we understood, and we were like, buddy, you're fine.
Because it was true. I think excuses are commonly conveyed as like, you're making them up.
Right, you're making,
false.
or you're like skewing the, so we
Skewing
believed
the
you.
information,
We knew that, we knew it was up, we knew
I
you were
wouldn't lie to
studying.
you guys, yeah.
And, and so.
What? What? That was a personal attack. Sorry, audience, for his behavior.
Well, so I said, well, Jonathan, since we can't record anything tonight, we can go get dinner. So we said, okay, we're going to go get dinner. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat. Not a sponsor, but they could be. And then we went to Buffalo Wild Wings to eat. And afterward, for reasons I won't get into because it's not important, for reasons we won't get into, we were going to drive by Applebee's. Also not a sponsor, but they also could be, which is right next to Buffalo Wild Wings in our town where we live. We drive in, actually expecting to see other cars of other people that we know.
Again, however...
But his car was there.
What are the odds?
Well, what are the odds?
After he said he was gonna go home and sleep, which seemed very odd to me. I would assume you would agree with that.
Being at 10 o'clock at night.
At 10 o'clock at night also.
Which wasn't a lie. I did go home and sleep.
You just took a detour to Applebee's.
I did. I will not deny
many
that.
hours later.
Yes.
Many hours?
I would say many hours.
Technically, it was many hours because of the follow-up story.
I think it was many hours.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, we spent more time probably talking in the parking lot.
Way longer than I was
we would have actually had on the podcast.
Once we discovered where he actually was. Yeah. And we should have filmed that because they're not privy to what happened in the parking lot, but it was quite comical.
To be clear, this story is anticlimactic. We can't tell you the full reason of everything that was going on. Just know that after that, there was toilet papering of cars that happened.
Paper toweling of cars.
Paper toweling of cars that happened
that we
in
were
the
not
parking
a part
lot
of.
that we were not a part of.
Just to clarify.
But we witnessed. I would put the video up because I do have that video.
You do.
But I would have to blur everything out because we can't show that. But that happened. Mm-hmm. And there was a very serious conversation that took place. And then there were 3 strikes against him. It was an interesting evening, and we can't go into any more detail than that.
So we're sorry.
We're sorry for ruining the chance that you guys have to hear a great story, but there was that. So, Jacob, welcome on the podcast.
Thank you.
Glad you could make it. Ironically, this is episode 5 instead of episode 2, and we're sort of transitioning into trying to do more stuff on social media and all that sort of stuff. So
we're upgrading.
Bringing that was a terrible segue, but we're going to bring it to the first topic because Jacob, in true Jacob form, could not decide on a topic to talk about.
Hey, I guess that's a good transition actually to how I deal with decisions. Okay, so many people of my friends know that I am horrible at the insignificant decisions of life is a good way of wording it.
That's one way of wording it.
Yeah. Yet I am humbly talking about myself. I'm really good at big decisions. Like, just saying, what do I want to do with my life? Sure, medical school, doctor. Yeah, why not? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
No struggle there. The people spend all this time and all these money talking with advisors and counselors and everything. No, actually, let's just do it. Why not? Yet you take me to a restaurant, which is a story we can take for a time soon.
We won't save that for a time soon. We'll tell it as soon as you finish whatever you're going to say.
Okay, perfect. Because the drink selection on the menu is very vast, and it's a real struggle.
Oh, he's going somewhere different.
He's going way
somewhere different than this, and I appreciate where he's going with this.
Continue. Yeah, please.
No, just decisions in general. Like, you take me to McDonald's, can't decide. Chick-fil-A, can't decide, especially since I work there.
All not a sponsor, but could be a sponsor.
Always open.
So every time we go out to eat with Jacob, two things happen, and not one of two things. Two things happen.
Always.
One.
Always.
Well, this is really three things. This is a separate thing. One. He shows up after everybody else does.
Fashionably late. On purpose.
And Jonathan and I have realized that the best thing to do before he arrives is to check and see if that particular restaurant we're eating at has flavored teas.
Flavored teas, not a sponsor.
Because
Gold Peak, do you want on?
Gold Peak. What is it? Pure Leaf.
Pure Leaf.
Lipton green tea, which I just had some.
Arizona.
Arizona is one of our favorites. So yeah,
it's a lot of tea.
Hit us up. So yeah, we always check on that. And then the other thing that happens is that as soon as he arrives, we've most likely already ordered our food.
Are eating.
Are eating. That has happened before. And I will typically sit him down, having already looked over the menu for him, and said, all right, these are a couple of options for you. Which one of these three do you want? When he inevitably cannot decide on those three, I will make the decision for him, and he's usually satisfied with that. Would you agree?
Guys, get yourself a friend like this, okay, that will take off options such as the quinoa. You don't want the quinoa from McDonald's.
I would never put the quinoa on you.
Yeah, that's appreciated.
McDonald's has quinoa?
You don't want the quinoa from McDonald's. But, hey, look, I'm not hating on quinoa. I like a good quinoa dish prepared by a really good person, but not from McDonald's.
Quinoa, a good side for the McRib, apparently. I didn't know that existed, and I don't think it does.
Now you do. That's what this is all about. It's a learning environment, you know?
So, yeah. Ordering at restaurants is hard with indecisive people, but I'm very decisive, so I decise for you.
That's why it works so well. Good relationship. You gotta have one of each, you know?
So, straight up, I'm not going to be able to segue into the next topic, but I have a question for you, Jacob.
Please.
And again, this is what happens when you don't bring us a topic. If you're ever a guest on this podcast, please come in with the topic, because if not, then I have to guide the conversation. And though I am very decisive, my mind takes a while to get there, and I will spew out the most random topic you can possibly think of. So the next topic we're going to go with is actually a simple question for Jacob. You don't use Instagram at all. The last post, I believe, was December 2019.
It was.
And I know that for a fact. We won't throw it on the screen just yet. If you go, he's a public profile, so you can go and hop on and follow him. BB Ninja 1, I believe.
BB Ninja 1.
BB Ninja 1.
BB stands for black belt, so that's a good number. BB Ninja 1.
Which is another thing that we failed to mention is that yes, we do. The first four guests have all had in common. Is that
yes,
we all in fact did meet at the same karate studio. We'll be changing that up. And I've been saying that for the past couple weeks, but eventually we will be changing that up. But anyway, so explain your social media presence and why you choose to only use Snapchat, which I don't think is used by anybody over the age of 50, and only use, other than Snapchat, Facebook, which is used primarily by people over the age of 50. Saying that, knowing completely well that I'm also on Facebook and Jonathan's also on Facebook. And
not a sponsor. But could be.
So yeah, go ahead. Explain, please, because I've always been interested in that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever told you, because...
I have wondered.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So let me start with Snapchat. So Snapchat is been coming on the scene lately. Which came out first?
After 6 years of being on the market.
Right, after Instagram. Wasn't Instagram first?
I believe so.
In various forms. Instagram changed, and they've gone through many different phases, from stories to all sorts of things. But the first wave of Instagram wasn't into. Got into the second wave right before I got into Snapchat. I think Instagram was my first social media.
It was mine as well, I believe.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So Instagram was my first social media. Just casually posting pictures again, like everyone does, commenting on friends' photos. Nothing special. Just pretty straightforward. Then I got into Snapchat, and Snapchat is great because the chat feature, the instant direct messaging, a lot very helpful. So I'm non-English major. Non-English major. You're gonna find this out very fast. But what was kind of a cool culture shock is, as soon as I got to college, Snapchat's almost a prerequisite, at least at Frostburg State. if you don't have a Snapchat, you're kind of like a nobody.
Yeah.
No one really asks for your phone number
I
anymore.
agree.
It is,
This is true.
It's really interesting. So again, I had it all through middle. It was middle. I think it was middle school.
I wouldn't know. I was
I'll have to
18 until I had any forms of social media. So.
I'll have to look into that because it was at least middle school, late middle school, if not high school, when I got Snapchat and stuff. So again, I was well versed. I had a bunch of people on it already. But the first day, coming to class, meeting people, and they're like, "Hey, socialize, get up, say your name." The part that everyone hates in the college class on the first week.
Of course.
Of course. And it's even worse when you're a freshman. And
Yeah.
at Frostburg, you have an
Of course.
orientation
Which
class.
I will go to my grave saying doesn't
Or-
actually serve any purpose whatsoever.
No.
Because it doesn't make anybody actually feel better.
If
So
you're-
take note, college professors. We don't actually like doing that.
No,
Um,
we really don't.
unless you're an extrovert, in which case you didn't need that. So
If you're going to find and make friends at college, you're going to find and make friends with college. You're not
Yeah.
just going to gravitate towards people and stuff like that. There's a small subset that benefit from it, not from the mass majority. So what we did afterwards is he's like, I highly encourage you, because he gave us all these scare stories and all this, like, people fail out because they don't have these support systems, these mental things. I was like, I had a really bad advisor as well. That's a story for later, but on how he told me not to go to medical school and that I wouldn't
he's
make it.
calling him out. He just said he had.
Hey, I'm not gonna say names, but it was bad.
You said that they scare you from going to medical school. My advisor also scared me from going to medical school, but necessarily wasn't necessarily that bad. Like, but
Yeah.
continue.
Also, to clarify, if my advisor is watching, it was my old advisor. I love my new advisor and two new advisors. I picked up a second because we got pretty close, and I was like, this is good. Extra help. I'll take all the help I can get. So let's see. So after we left class, he was like, if you don't get friends, you're going to fail out of college. Share your phone numbers, share your emails, do what you got to do. And we all looked at each other like, emails? We're not going to share our emails.
something at Frostburg.
Who does that?
You.
Alrighty. So we all get out our phones and we all share our snap codes and everything. It wasn't really until later in the semester we had our first group project, because freshman year they love group projects.
Oh yes.
That's a topic. Group projects.
That could be a topic of an entire episode.
an
With my
entire episode.
6th semester.
Save that for a call back later.
Yeah.
But how do we set up for the group chat? Snapchat. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you did.
I agree.
No one texts. All the group chats are Snapchat. So that was kind of that was my first one. When going into Instagram, by this point, 2 full-blown social medias. I didn't get Facebook, which are my. I have a Twitter, which is just to have a Twitter. I do nothing on Twitter. Twitter's dead. Instagram, I'm at least semi-present, but I don't post. Facebook, I just got that recently, as in 2 years ago, roughly. I was about 18.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I was like, why not? And for various other reasons, and that helped with the pandemic and other reasons and through our karate studio and stuff, clientele stuff. So I mostly use Facebook for, I don't want to say professional, because you can have professional pages and stuff. Mm-hmm. I haven't posted on Facebook yet.
I
just
believe
haven't.
that. I
Yeah,
don't think I've
I
seen
know.
anything from
The
you.
I
thing
think
that I've always
commenting.
been interested about you on Facebook is that I use Facebook the least out of anything. I don't dislike it. I just prefer Instagram to anything.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, though, is that you send me direct messages on Facebook all the time.
I do.
And it takes me like 3 months to open them. And by the time I get them, whatever you sent me had expired. And you continuously do this, even though it's not hard to just send it through Snapchat, but...
No. So I use, again, Facebook very unorthodoxically, because it's mostly, again, the elderly generation of...
I agree.
That's going to put me in a hole. I was about to say the elderly generation of 50, but that's not true. I say a good clientele is 70, and then the younger generation of 50.
We'll say senior citizens, because that technically starts at 55.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
admit though that I had Facebook first. I did have Facebook first out of
Okay,
all the social media
okay.
platforms. There's still a valid Facebook out there that says John Dayton and not my entire name, and a picture of me
John.
in middle school, probably when I was 12. For some reason, and Annie can attest to this, my wife, but we won't go into that topic, how Facebook doesn't delete old accounts.
No.
So it's been there forever. And people still wish me happy birthday on that account to this day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Still to this
That
day.
still doesn't answer my question, but very good. I appreciate
Very good.
that. There was a lot more to unpack with that question than I was expecting. That's where my mind went. But
it was a good thing because mostly what I am sending you from Facebook is I'm in different groups, whether that be a Harry Potter group, medical meme group, just these random groups in the groups tab. It's very diverse, but
I wouldn't know because I haven't seen them.
So mostly people just post, and I get tagged in things on Facebook. Most of the times I've been on Facebook is just from people tagging me in things. I don't post on Facebook. Instagram was kind of the one extra thing in my life. Starting in November.
Not anymore,
in
apparently, because
No. Once it got to that December, that last post, that's kind of where it started. It wasn't like this big ceremonious, this is my last time leaving Instagram. Everyone, I'm dead on here. No, are you going to put the post up at some point?
of the previous post
of the last
just
Instagram
go
post?
to his account.
It's public. Beam
There's
Ninja
nothing
1.
on there.
Wow, my life. Wow, nothing. But no, I get you.
There's like 5 posts on there.
Okay, I had this really inspirational phase. It was when I was younger. You're gonna see some really inspirational quotes in these really inspirational pictures.
There's
You
one.
gotta get past
There's
that.
one of
You gotta get
Leonardo
past that.
DiCaprio on there that has nothing to do with Leonardo DiCaprio
You
whatsoever.
gotta get past that. You gotta get past the inspirational quotes phase.
So at this point in the video, audience, you have seen 2 odd cuts. And that is simply because this interaction that we are having, you might think we're doing this just to put on a show. We're not. This is literally every
No.
single time that the 3 of us get together. This is what you get. This has and will continue to go off the rails more than episode 3. And I can't do anything to stop it. Jonathan can't do anything to stop it. Jacob could, but he won't.
Oh no.
So I got a comment from a friend saying that we need to finish our thought before we move on. But we've officially spent 10 minutes talking about social media, which I thought was going to be a 2-minute question.
Okay, here
And
you go.
so we're
I
gonna
got you.
move
I got
on.
you. Instagram.
We're not moving on yet.
Okay.
I guess we're not moving on.
I got you. We got to close this topic because your friend, I'm going to be there for them. I'm going to close this topic. Instagram, it was the one extra thing. It was that December time. I started sophomore year. I didn't even start freshman year. I started sophomore year. I said no thank you. It wasn't just a thing for me, so I still like people's pictures and stuff, and I respond if people direct message me. So I'm not active in posting, but I'm active as I'm alive on it. I'm dead on Twitter. Don't snap me on Twitter.
You seem like you have something to say.
I do, but I'm not gonna go there. It would open up a huge can of worms. That is no.
We're not opening up another can of
No,
worms.
we are going to
We're
leave
not
that
opening
for,
up another
for
can
another
of
thing.
worms.
Maybe what I'm about to say
This
could go
episode
into
is infested with more
go
worms
into
than
a
we can
TikTok
handle.
or a post or something special,
TikTok.
but we're not going to go there.
Hey, you just put the can of worms on the shelf next to the vegetables. We'll come back to it later.
The next thing that I'd like to cover is something that I'm sure the audience has noticed by now, and that is the fact that Jonathan is wearing a suit.
Yep.
I am wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and Jacob is in gym clothes.
Which is
How did that
which is
happen?
not his normal outfit, by the way.
Usually it would be a karate uniform.
Exactly.
Which I'm impressed he's not in, to be
I'm
honest.
extremely shocked.
We've had multiple dinners with him in a karate uniform.
But this is typically our
Probably
norm, though.
more. Probably more than not. In a
I would
karate
say
uniform.
it's untypical for him to not be
I
in
agree
a-
with this.
This is typically our norm, like dress though.
It is honest.
This is
Casual. If he's not in
Yeah.
something gym related, it is karate, and I am the one that would be out doing something else that requires a suit.
He would be in that, generally speaking, or whatever he's wearing without the actual jacket on.
You have to force me into that. This is the kind of
I
deal.
want to say that this is what I normally wear. It's not. I usually wear t-shirts, generally speaking, but I put on one of these Hawaiian shirts like a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and it's warm outside, and I haven't been able to go back since.
It's good weather.
So that was about how long I thought the previous topic was going to take, but it took like 10 minutes.
Sure.
So
I like to keep you guessing.
yeah.
Put me on Jeopardy.
This is what happens when you don't bring a topic. You don't bring a topic, it's just going to go off the rails.
Please.
So,
So Jacob, I have
no, wait, you have to wait till
no.
he's done
We
laughing.
got to go.
Okay, we gotta go.
I have a topic for Jacob,
Please.
and because there is no set topic for any of this conversation, and as I'm hoping the audience enjoys this, because this is literally when the three of us get together.
This is the most raw conversation.
Exactly how we interact every single time, which I love because it's not something I gotta think about. But here's my topic: turtles. What is your obsession with turtles? Why do you like turtles so much? I'm going to limit you to 2 minutes. Go.
2 minutes. Okay, so this is a big, long conversation. So let's see. Highlights of turtles. It is
2 minutes. We're currently, this episode, if it's not edited, and it will be, hopefully, is it like 24 minutes now?
Okay, perfect. 2 minutes.
So if it's significantly less than that, you see how much we had to cut out.
That's crazy. Let's see. 2 minutes. Turtles my favorite.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
Okay, anyone who knows me really well, my favorite animal is turtle. Not just because I like the turtle emoji, but
that is where your obsession started, I believe.
It is one of the fueling factors. It was multiple reasons.
I believe that if I have to guess, and I know I'm interrupting you, which isn't a wise decision, but I would also guess that the ASDF movie Mind Turtle had something to do with it.
That was one of the pivotal influences.
Okay.
So,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
Okay.
So, can we leave a link in the description?
Well,
is that a thing?
I'll throw a link to the ASDF.
Hey!
They don't need the views, but we'll throw it in there anyway.
They don't need the views. But, so they understand the Mind Turtle reference. So that was a good thing that kind of, I don't know, subconsciously made me love the animal. Then, there's several things. I can get real nerdy about it. Like, they have a tough shell, they're resilient, yet there's a misconception about them that turtles are slow. When I had a pet turtle when I was younger.
Very good.
It was a very short-lived Strawberry Patch Field box turtle. I don't know if it's actually a box turtle because that's a thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that type of box turtle, but okay.
I found it in a strawberry field, and
so
I was like 7.
So you named it because it was found there.
Found
that is not the name of the actual turtle. Strawberry Field box turtle. I've never heard of that type of turtle before.
They only grow in strawberry fields, or
New segment.
Okay.
Science with Jacob.
No, science with Connor is what we have for the third episode. Now we have naming new species with
naming new species.
Species with Jacob.
So you get the fishies and the species.
Please continue.
Insert picture here of
Insert
our audience
picture here.
member.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold up this picture right here for editing. This is.
You're making this hard for me.
We can do this, right? Here's a picture of a turtle eating a strawberry. He's so cute! I love him! You know you love him too.
This is either
Why do you like turtles?
This is either going to be the best episode we've ever done or the worst episode we've ever done. Jonathan's wife is here, as I mentioned before. She's off camera. She just held a picture up, and we will show the picture of a turtle eating a strawberry, and that's it. But that happened, and
It looks like a tortoise, though, which are different than turtles.
And they
But we're not
slow.
gonna go. We are not gonna go there.
They are slow.
We are not gonna go there. Finish your
Yes.
thought is why you like turtles.
I just think they're a great animal. I think I like the reptiles, and
he just thinks they're
That's his answer. Why do you like turtles? So I found one when I was a kid in the Strawberry Patch Field. They're just great. That's why I like them.
I don't disagree. I have always enjoyed turtles myself.
Here, I'll slowly expand because it goes a lot deeper than this.
Okay.
But like I said, they're a misinterpreted person, and they're judged by an attribute that's assigned to them.
They're an
Turtles
animal.
equals slow, when rabbits equals fast.
Uh-huh.
You can look up videos on the internet of turtles running really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I have
seen that.
That is true.
That's a thing. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. So people just judge on the outside. So
I
don't look on
understand
the
people
outside.
having sort of like a go-to animal as their favorite. What would yours be?
Yeah.
My go-to animal?
Like if you just had an animal that you thought like
Favorite animal.
I'm not saying like
Red panda.
red
Boom.
panda.
Or
Red panda.
lemur.
Okay.
Red panda, not
I
because
appreciate-
not because they're from Asia, though.
I appreciate the red panda. Actually, that's a good. It's out of the box. People know what it is.
I think-
Shifu Kung Fu Panda.
That's right.
I appreciate it.
Shifu's a red panda?
You didn't know Shifu's a red panda?
Shifu's a red
You
guys.
don't disrespect Dustin Hoffman like that and not know what animal he played in Kung Fu Panda.
He was Shifu, right? Okay.
There's another topic. How little he knows about movies, though he watches them all the time.
I thought Shifu voiced Shifu, okay?
Shifu voiced Shifu.
I like penguins personally.
Penguins.
Penguins.
I find them to be cute. I find them that it's interesting that they are flightless birds.
Yes.
They also like the cold, which, as we established in the previous episode, I'm also a fan of. And
I like African penguins.
I watched
that live in hot weather.
Well, those are the penguins I'm referring to. But
Is there a charity for those?
I know they're not.
I wonder if there's a charity for this, Jacob.
Because, like, think about it. Penguins are dying every day, this minute, from heat exhaustion. In Africa.
And zoos that like banned them and like put like.
Wait, are they opposite? Do they have, like, black bellies and, like, white flippers?
No, they actually look the same. Like, I was very confused. Like, when I go to a zoo and saw
That's
them
hilarious,
outside
because when you said...
you're not in this conversation.
Wait a second. When you said desert penguins, that's exactly what I pictured was a
Exactly.
black belly and white flippers. This is...
Here you go. On the screen, we're going to put up a picture of an inverted penguin.
We're gonna Photoshop that.
Or I gave up, and I didn't do that. I haven't decided
No,
yet.
it's gotta go.
Hey, if you don't post it, I'll send it to you to
When we
post it.
put our hand up to put a picture there, it has to be inserted by an editor.
Oh, that one didn't count. Only the earlier hands.
Like on a picture like the red panda right here.
I'm gonna teach you how to.
Insert.
I'm gonna teach you how to edit now. So
Oh,
that you
I
do
can
that.
edit. It just takes me much longer.
Because someone
Than you.
went to school for it and is really, really good at it. So
Fair enough.
You're 3 hours of editing.
throw me the phone.
Okay, pause. All right, no, don't pause.
wait,
Don't-
don't pause.
No.
Phone,
Addie,
phone,
just
phone.
can we just officially bring her on to introduce her
Insert.
at this point?
No. She's not gonna come on yet.
No, we can't have her on.
It's just a
Okay.
thing.
I tried.
Not yet.
I tried to give the fans what they wanted.
Oh, this is the suspense. They've waited for me, so here we go. They're waiting for Addie too.
Since
My girlfriend.
we're really long in this episode, I feel like this is the appropriate time for people to comment in the comment section. A, do they want to take it back? Which I think this consensus is probably going to be. I'm going to just guess on a limb here that it's yes because of the comical value. And then 2, maybe the audience can then guide the discussion by giving some topics that are random that Jacob can then discuss. Because as we've kind of established, we don't have a clue what we wanted to do today.
Jacob discusses.
We have, for the record, we have gotten a couple suggestions as for things to cover. We have seen the comments. We are working on them. One of the specific ones we've gotten more than this, but one of the specific ones, at least that I thought was really intriguing, was the topic of conspiracy theories, which I've talked to Jonathan. We
That's a good topic.
do plan to talk about them at some point. We're not sure who the guest's going to be for that. That'll probably, I would say, before episode 10, we'll probably be covering that at some point. But yes, so what I think we're going to have to do now at this point, because I don't feel as though we've had, and we've said this multiple times, we certainly haven't had one cohesive episode. So I'm going to make the executive decision at this point that we're going to make this a 2-part episode, if that's okay with you.
I'm good with that.
Which goes completely against the executive decision that I said I was going to make when I had to ask for permission.
And you may see this air at some point relatively soon, or depending on Jacob's schedule, because we know how busy he is, you might not see it until 4 years later. So you don't know.
But a lot better now.
You might have to go to Applebee's again. We don't know.
We're gonna put them on the calendar for like in 2 or 3 weeks, but that calendar date may change.
Hey, just reach out to my secretary. She's great. Barb. She's great.
Barb.
Barb.
You did not just make up a fictional secretary named Barb.
I didn't. She has 2 kids. Do I think I made them up?
Yes, I do.
What are the kids' names?
Kids, Gerald, Felicity.
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 We're getting signals from off. All right, we're gonna have to cut this episode here. If it feels incomplete, think of it as an incomplete movie. We will record part 2 at some point. But let us know in the comments. Guide us, please. Help. I have not done this. I have not gotten out of my
indecisive
seat in an episode. But please guide this next part 2 episode for us so that we will not
insert picture
go
here.
off the rails a third time.
One final turtle. And
Like,
right here.
subscribe, comment, as we have said repeatedly, and pray.
Sure, man.
We've gotten to that point.
We've gotten to that point.
See ya.
Pray.
And action.